Hi, I'm Paul Shelley and I want to welcome you to my video on creating motivation and inspiration. And I'm going to be talking about a method that I've used so much over my life that I've constantly come back to find new ways to kind of reconnect with myself, reconnect with what I'm doing, having an actual purpose for it, so I can go out, be inspired and be able to know where I'm going with it, because it's so nice when you feel you're on that flow and you go, right, well, I've got to do that first. You go and get that task done. Then you go and make something else. You go and make something else and you feel you're in a flow with the project. And that's really where we all want to be as creatives, when there's that kind of knock-on effect. So we're building into momentum rather than, kind of going for one point at a time, then another point at a time. Once we're on those flows, we know we will feel so much better. We feel great. You go outside, you just see all the beauty outside and everything just resonates and everything reverberates and it's all just a bit brighter. So that's really where we want to kind of bring more attention and make sure we're working towards that consistently. So today the method I want to bring you to is about looking at your intolerances. Now bear with me here. It sounds very strange, but if you think in the conversations you've had with your friends, or you may be talking to a stranger, reading a book, and you find those little niggles that come in your head, and you go, that really annoys me, or I'm really passionate about that, or a lot of people would feel that about the environment. So you may see a picture and there's a beach with ridiculous amounts of rubbish and all the toxicity in the sea, and that might really really resonate with you, but not just mentally, but like connect with you, and kind of you feel that inside. And if you look further, there's a lot of intolerances. You might find it's an emotion, so it might be patience. You might find that if you see someone acting impatiently to someone else, that really riles you up. It could literally be anything. It's about noticing any times where you just get those kind of like instinctual reactions to something that's going on in the environment, whether it's positive or negative. That's not really the important factor here. It's just that you notice that it immediately just kind of, you felt it. And what we can do with that is, as you start becoming more aware of these, because part of this is also the longer you have this in your conscious, if you were consciously thinking over the week, over the month, right, whenever those moments come up, I'm going to write them down. I'm going to write them down on a piece of paper and I'm going to store them up. Don't necessarily have to do with anything immediately, but you'll start building yourself like some mini worksheets to kind of come back to. And then as you do it for a few weeks, your mind kind of tunes into it. So you start being able to notice them faster, you start being able to realize them faster. And when you put some time into looking at these, you can actually break down what it is that connects you with them, which parts of it really inspire you, which can give you an endless amount of ideas for projects, ways you want to go forward, things that may be missing from your life, or things that may already be in your life that you either want to put more or less time to, more or less focus to. Is one of them not bringing you happiness? Is one of them something that, if it was regular in your life, or you felt you were regularly contributing to it, that it would bring happiness to you? It would bring you, some element of peace or some joy, maybe a new community of people you haven't met, but you'd also like to know more people who also felt passionate about that and have more of those related in your life. So that's really where we're starting to go with this. And really, I can't emphasize enough how much your awareness will grow the more you have this in your mind consciously, week to week to week. And have a check-in for yourself, write it in your phone, make sure you read it every day, and be aware of these as they go. This is how we start to build in new habits, by starting to find ways of reminding ourselves on a regular basis till they come naturally. And obviously the thought processing that will come with delving into these further, finding new inspiration with them, learning a lot more. You'll probably find a million new organisations, creative people, beautiful things written, books, inspiring places to go, that will also be things to use as, as leverage against your own inspiration. And that's what we want to do. We want to build out that kind of portfolio of what you've got for yourself that is going to bring you the inspiration, what environments, what places, what triggers. And so once we've got those more regular, your mind can process them faster. And as your mind's processing them faster, you'll start being able to pick them up in the day and then be able to take them further in your mind with less and less time going back. Really, it's a process. So the more you train yourself to get used to thinking like that and being aware of that and having that, that deeper level of analysis to then bring back into your work, the faster these processes become. And then the less they become, bigger parts of your day or something you need to put a lot more work into. And the more you go, oh wow, that has really inspired me just there, that will da 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 da, and those natural processes come in for you. And it also, when you're writing them down, because I think this is a really valuable thing to start making lists like this, because you'll have high and low periods, but having these immediate lists gives you something to go straight back to. If you've run out of inspiration, not that that actually really happens, it's more running out of, it might be energy or desire or feeling of purpose, but I never really run out of inspiration as a, complete thing. But when we need to get it back, it's good to know how to have structures in place to get it back. And having things like these lists just gives you those starting points to go, oh yeah, no, these are things that I know in times where I'm healthier and fine, these really connect with me. So I know if I look into these, spend more time focusing on these, analysing these, I'm going to get back towards that more inspired state. And even if you're low, that might take a few weeks, but again, it's putting that reminder for yourself daily to come back to them. And that's how you build structure into remembering your inspiration, how to bring it back more consistently. And also use all those subjects, find how you want them to fit into your life, find how you want them to fit into your work. And I promise you'll find so many inspiration areas and probably a few things that just fit with you holistically that were just little elements that you just didn't quite spend enough time on or you wanted to do more of, whether that's spending more time at the beach or being in nature more, or just research areas that you never really gave yourself the time. But actually, from researching those, it just gives you so much more energy to look at other things. So I really hope you try those anyway. I think you'll find them really useful. And I look forward to speaking to you next time. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.